My nan never went out to work. No, she never went out to work. But my granddad was a butcher down at Smithford Meat Market, and he was a butcher all his life. That was more or less the same as my dad, because my dad was youngster when he was first married. You'd get up in the morning, early morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning they used to have to get up, go down to the market, be there by about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And you didn't have a regular job knowing you was going in every day of the week. You'd go down there and there'd be a bunch of men all waiting, and the foreman would come out, they'd say, right, you and you, you'd work for the day, all the others had to go home. And that's how it was. And my dad, at one time, when he was going for a job, because the bigger you were, because working on the Smithfield Meat Market, you had to be a fairly strong man, and my dad put on 3 overcoats and went down there, and he got the job that day. But he used to carry the quarters of beef on his shoulders, and he'd come home at night, and my mum would used to have to put fuller's earth on his shoulders because he would be bleeding with the weight of the beef and that on his shoulders. I remember it very clearly when I found out about the war. I was 9 and it was a nice sunny day. I was playing out in the garden, and the lady next door, her name was Mrs. Colley. And I remember my mum coming out, talking to this Mrs. Colley and saying, yeah, well, it looks as if we are going to have a war and the children have got to be evacuated. I'd never heard that word before, evacuated. I hadn't got a clue what it meant. And she said, yeah, the children are going to be evacuated on Friday. And we went on, it was Friday, the 1st of September, 1939. And it was literally 2 days before war was actually declared. We were taken to, actually, my brother's school. I was evacuated with them. And we went down to Yeovil, Somerset. We arrived down there at 11 o'clock at night, tipping down with rain. And there was this long crocodile of children going round the streets where they were dropping off the children into different homes where they'd been, the evacuation officers had been round before and made arrangements for people to take the children in. And my brothers and myself, my mum had said to me before I left, don't you let them separate you, you keep together, you look after your brothers. So when we got to this house, 73 Eastland Road, I can remember it, in Yeovil. And we went to this old lady she was 70 something, and they said to her, I know you asked for 2 boys, but there's a girl here as well, the sister, will you take her in for the night? And she said, oh, I don't know. She said, no, I don't think I can. They said, well, if you take her in for tonight and we'll come round tomorrow and get things sorted, because the weather was so bad, which she did do. And when we got in there, after the evacuation people had gone, I asked her for a bowl of water, if I could get my brothers washed and get them into bed, which I did. And I was 9 years old. They were 7. I'd got them their pyjamas out, got them into bed, and I got myself washed and undressed into bed. And in the morning, I'd got their clothes out ready. And when the evacuation people came round and said, right, she said, well, she seems quite a competent girl. I'll try her for a month. And I finished up staying there for 18 months.